All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of WTF. I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And this is our special guest, Sandy.
Hi, I was about to just introduce myself.
Well,
you could.
You can. We are now.
Want to redo it?
Hey, everyone, welcome to another episode of WTF. I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Hey, everyone, welcome to another episode of WTF. I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Sandy.
And today we're reviewing the movie Motherless Brooklyn.
Set against the 50s backdrop, a lonely private detective afflicted with Tourette syndrome ventures to solve the murder of his mentor. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, sorry, we normally do this thing first where... Sandy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I will. We've known each other for a long time, right?
Really?
Like
Do you remember where we met? Do you remember the day we met?
I don't know. It was at 2nd Avenue to audition for your film.
That's right.
Because you were doing an indie, and then I booked the role.
Does he do anything other than indies?
When was that? 2003? 2002?
It was quite a while ago, but I remember you showed up and you were the most prepared actor I'd ever met at that particular time.
Thank
you. Had your lines ready to go, and you were just like, "Let's go, let's do this." And I was like, "Oh, this chick knows how to act. She's gonna be awesome." And she was.
And I was.
Yeah, sure. But tell us a little bit more about your family and what you're involved in now, and your YouTube channel or your vlog.
The acting was a long time ago,
Yes.
and then I got married, had a son who was diagnosed with autism, so I created a vlog sharing our journey. So we do a lot of biomedical stuff. We do a method called rapid prompting method. If you go onto YouTube and search Devin's Journey, you will find me vlogging away.
This is where Bill will put up the link to your...
Good job, Bill. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
On a side note, she saw me naked.
On a side note, you can all see Will naked if you check out a short film called
Writer's Block.
Writers, W-R. Oh, wait. Bill's going to put it on the bottom.
Yeah.
It sounds like Riders, R-I-D-E.
Well, that's a porn version of it. What made you want to become an actress when you were younger? Like when you first started acting, in case anybody doesn't know, Sandy was on a local TV show out of Toronto called...
The Lofters.
The Lofters. So what made you...
But it wasn't acting, though. That was hosting.
It's like more of a reality show.
It was a reality show. We got to host a bunch of shows and interview a bunch of cool people.
So is that more of what you...
That's more my forte. I started realizing acting is really fucking hard.
So yeah, this is a... I'm not sure if it's his directorial debut, but Edward Norton acts in it. He's one of the producers. There's like 10 producers. He also
adapted it.
He adapted it from a novel. Yeah. So he's the writer as well. So this is kind of like, I think, his pet project. So I think he put everything into this.
You put his soul into it.
Yes. So some of the other actors that are in it as well are Alec Baldwin, Willem Dafoe. How do you pronounce the chick's name?
Gugu Mbatha-Raw. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that.
Bill's going to have a heyday with that one.
Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Leslie Mann's also in it. Bruce Willis, Bobby Cavanaugh. Everybody knows who Edward Norton is. He's a fantastic actor. One of my favorite movies of his was Fight Club. American History X, he was amazing in that.
He won the Oscar, didn't
he? He was nominated. I'm not sure if he won. And his breakout performance was Primal Fear with Richard Gere. He was pretty
92
cool
or 93 there.
You guys are so much more into movies than I am, because I'm like, did I watch that?
You haven't seen any of them?
I think Fight Club I did.
I would hope you've seen Fight Club.
But there you go. I can't even remember if I watched that. Isn't that with Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched that.
Helena Bonham Carter.
And didn't they at one point, they were kind of like around a ring watching pigs fight or something?
No.
So Will.
Oh, God.
Actually, why don't we start with Sandy? Let's start with Sandy. What was your take? How did this movie make you feel?
How did it make me feel?
Oh, whatever. What did you get?
Actually, I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I had tons of emotion, but I was actually entertained. There were, some parts that were like, what the hell is going on here? But otherwise, I, was following along. My favorite thing, if the main character didn't have Tourette's, and some of the stuff that he was doing, like a little bit of OCD kind of stuff, took me to like what my son does sometimes.
Hang on, you did or you didn't like
This is what made the movie for me.
Yes.
Was this character.
Yeah.
If this character didn't have Tourette's and as interesting to watch and what he was, having to struggle with, I would say this movie was shit. But because it was entertaining and it was actually a fairly entertaining storyline, but it was him that made it.
He's the reason to go see this movie if you even plan on going to see it. I actually anticipated this movie being a lot better than it was. I did find it to be a little bit disappointing. What was your take, Will?
Wait, why was it disappointing? going.
Well, it was disappointing because I felt like a lot of the decisions that were made, I don't like the way it was edited, first of all. That was one thing I didn't like. A lot of the cutting was going back and forth between the actors, and it was like, that person talks, this person talks, there was no even overlapping when they were doing the editing. It didn't seem like it had a good pacing. It was boring.
That didn't bother me at all.
Oh, that totally bothered me.
There was a bunch of scenes. Sorry, I know you're going to talk soon. Just for now, it's just the Trevor and Sandy show. There was a bunch of scenes where I was like, this is going on a little too long. There was one dance scene. I don't know if I can specifically get here, but
I want to talk about that.
But actually, I thought this is different, so I actually appreciated it, and I didn't notice that at all. The editing and sound did not bother me.
To me, the first half was not edited right. It started to pick up a little bit around the third act. Some of it was kind of exciting, but the pacing I thought was completely off. But I will say the one thing I actually did like, but loved about this movie, there was a really cool dance scene where the main actress kind of forces Edward Norton's character to come on and have a dance with him, and I loved that scene. It was almost like she was like nurturing him and making him feel good. I'm like, that to me was a really cool scene, but I don't know if that's enough to get somebody to go see it in the movie theater. Tell us what you loved about this movie.
Yes. Going in, I thought the movie was going to be very long and boring, and I was not disappointed. Edward Norton, I didn't believe him as a Tourette's patient.
Oh, really?
I thought every time he was talking normal, I was like, there's the Edward Norton I know and love, and is acting every time. He's acting. It looked like he was just reading off a script. I didn't believe him.
Wow.
It was not believable as that. It was annoying. It ruined the film. And the only character I really wanted to see was Bruce Willis, and they killed him off in the first 10 minutes. Awesome.
If it was a different actor having the Tourette's, do you think that it would, like an actor you barely seen, but because you've seen Edward Norton in a bunch of films that you loved, that's what kind of threw you off with him and the
No, but I've seen
Tourette's?
big name actors that can portray autistic or, whatever, way better. It seemed forced.
Okay.
It seemed really, really forced.
So I watched it with my husband, and he didn't like his portrayal as well.
No, it just seemed forced. Like he's perfect acting, and then he's just trying. He's trying too hard. It didn't come across as believable.
Did you think?
No, I thought he was great. I thought he was the strongest thing in the movie. I thought his portrayal of having that Tourette's was very real. Today we're going to do a review on either the Statue of Liberty or the Brooklyn Bridge, because it's based in
The bridge,
Brooklyn. Okay,
for sure.
so Brooklyn Bridges.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. Will, do you want to go first? Is there going to be any bridges?
It's going to be a sinking bridge.
There was some good parts. I had a few chuckles. I'm ultimately going to give it probably a 3 out of 10. I really didn't enjoy it. Too long, too boring, too intricate, too many loose ends.
3 bridges out of 10. Okay.
I'm giving it 7 bridges out of 10 because I actually did enjoy it. I was entertained.
All right, well, I'm going to give it 5. I was thoroughly disappointed. I expected it to be much better. This is like my favorite time of the year because all of the Oscar-nominated movies usually come out around this time, just before December. So I expected this to be a lot better than it was, and I was disappointed. So there you go, 5. So is there any movies that are coming out that you're interested in seeing, Will?
Not that I'm interested in seeing the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but I did watch the new trailer they released, and the Hedgehog Sonic does look way better. It doesn't look as human scary like it did in the original.
Sandy, do you know who that is?
No. You want to see Terminator, though. Isn't that what you want to see?
Well, I'm a huge Terminator fan.
Okay, so you haven't seen it yet?
No, but because I was curious, this is a direct sequel to T2, bypassing, getting rid of the rest of the Terminators, essentially.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's not doing that well.
But I've heard very bad things, but I'm still a big fan.
So you're still going to watch it?
Probably.
I'm actually interested in seeing Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, because most of his movies are a little bit silly, but this one looks like it might be a little bit more dramatic. I was watching a thing with him and Adam Sandler on YouTube. It sounds kind of interesting.
You just said him and Adam
Yeah,
Sandler.
who's
but you
him
just
and
said
Adam
Sorry, with him, Brad Pitt and Adam Sandler.
I was like, who's
okay.
He was talking to himself.
Yeah.
Come on.
Another movie actually I'm kind of curious to see is 21 Bridges. 8 police officers are murdered by 2 guys, and he's the lead detective, and he shuts down all
I
the
saw
bridges.
the trailer for
in
that.
Brooklyn.
Yes, okay.
Looks pretty good.
Actually, that did look interesting.
So-
You know, the one trailer that it did look interesting, but no interest in watching it because I don't need to have nightmares. But the one that does look interesting is the Helen Mirren one with the other dude
Ian
who's trying to
McKellen?
get her. But yes, trying to get her
Yeah.
money. Actually, that I would watch.
Yeah, I just saw a trailer for that.
When you were watching Motherless Brooklyn, it must have come
Yeah,
out.
probably.
Would you want to watch that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'd like to thank Sandy again for joining us on this 2-bit program. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone out there watching another episode of WTF.
Oh, well, you gotta let me know when you're going into that.
Well, I thought you were listening, so I'm laughing. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thank you to Jesus.
That's where you wrote WTF.
I know, but I'm working on stuff.
Drunk.
I'd like to thank Sandy again for joining us on our program.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're awesome.
We're really happy to have you here. And as always, thanks again for watching episode of WTF. And we will see you next time.